check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC on Sports Talk Today, the team. I'm your host, Danny Thompson. Check with you tonight with Marc Johnson and Paul Myers, NBA FCP Radio. And we also want you to check in as well, too, 407-482-3776. It's pretty much now 7:47, the last segment of the first hour, and every single week we go into this with our good friend Marc Johnson of NBAFCPRadio.com. This is our draft segment. For those who don't follow college basketball, grab a pen and paper because a lot of our fans don't have playoff teams this year, and Marc will pretty much tell you which guys to look out for. So, Paul, Marc, two-man pick and roll, take it away.
Well, not only that, I just want to make a quick statement. Who doesn't fill out a bracket? Even if you're not a huge college basketball guy, you fill out a bracket. Why? Because you got the $1 Million Challenge for ESPN, Yahoo has theirs, etc. Man, if you want some insight, this guy Marc Johnson is about to fill your ear with it. So let's get it going, Marc. All right, so we got games of the week. Wednesday, you got Miami at Notre Dame. Miami has a prospect by the name of Sheldon McClellan.
Yeah, Sheldon McClellan, he's one of the better shooting guards, in college basketball. He really, can get to the rim, solid shooter, good rebounder from the backcourt, solid defensive player. He kind of does a little bit of everything. Miami has one of the best backcourts, in college basketball. It's another guy, Angel Rodriguez, transferred from Kansas State, that also plays with him. So, if you're talking tournament, you always want to bet on the backcourt, the good backcourts, and Miami has one of them.
All right. And they'll be facing Notre Dame, who has a good point guard in their own right, Demetrius Jackson.
Yeah, this ought to be, a good matchup between Notre Dame and Miami. Demetrius Jackson really is starting to rise up the draft board. He does everything for this team. He's really the engine, that sparks the team. Excellent assist man, solid scorer, but doesn't overdo it. But when he needs to take over a game, he does. Really can get in the lane and rebound. I like him. He's going to be a guy that, if you need backcourt help, he's going to be a guy in the draft that you're looking at.
Right, and he's made a guy, a senior at that, improved over the course of the season, and that's Zach August.
Yeah, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. A guy, who can really cut to the basket, moves well without the ball. Starting to develop in the low post, an active and lively body, rebounding the basketball. He really, plays well for the offensive boards. I like him.
Yep, averaging a double-double at that, 14 and 10. Thursday, we have Cal at Arizona. Cal has one of the top guys in the draft by the name of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, he's a guy that this guy attacks the basket at will. He doesn't care who's in his way. He's like a runaway train going to the basket. And this guy has such elevation. I think he's the best finisher in all of college basketball. If you get in his way, he's going to dunk on you. It's automatic. And to be honest with you, if this guy develops the necessarily ball handling skills, he's going to be one of the best perimeter players in the NBA. That's how good he can be if the ball handling develops.
There you go. So if your team is looking for a guard, you might want to watch Jaylen Brown a little bit. Another great prospect on that Cal team is Ivan Rabb at power forward.
Yeah, Ivan, he's one of these guys. He's kind of been a little up and down, during the season offensively. But when he gets it going, this guy really is really tough to stop. And really his offense will carry over to his defense. Excellent rebounder, excellent defensive player, solid scorer. And he's still developing, but, this guy's went head-to-head with some of the best, in college basketball this year. Played against Jakob Poeltl for Utah, played against Chris Boucher from Oregon. In Pac-12, a lot of great players, in the Pac-12, and he's, held his own with the best of them.
Now, Cal is ranked 25, but they have three good prospects. Let's talk a little bit about Tyrone Wallace at point guard as well.
Yeah, Tyrone Wallace, kind of the leader of the team. He actually went down with an injury and then came back. And I thought he'd been better since they came back, because once he came back, this team really started to get on a roll. They won 7 straight. He's like the leader of the team, but he does a lot of good things. He's pro-ready. It's just going to be a matter of fit with him and, really getting the best out of him, running the team. But he's a guy that really can do it. So we just have to see, where he fits and where he lands in the draft.
Another top 25 team at 18, Arizona, has a guy by the name of Ryan Anderson that's averaging a double-double. Let's hear about him.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson, he's a guy, kind of one of these guys, like maybe a little bit undersized for the power forward position, but he can hit the three. He can make the drive off the bounce. Excellent rebounder. I mean, he's really a terrific rebounder in traffic. Will snatch the boards away from you. That's how strong he is. He's going to be a guy that's definitely going to make a roster and definitely going to be able to improve a roster.
And two other guys that are going to help Arizona here in March Madness is Alonzo Trier and Caleb Tarczewski. Let's talk about both of them.
Yeah, Trier, he's a guy really could slash the basket, solid shooter. He's a guy that's really starting to play well right now. I'm telling you, this guy, really could be special, down the road. He has all the skills to be really good. And Tarczewski, he's a guy coming back from injury as well, but he's a solid interior defenseman, solid rebounder. He's like one of those big bodies, that you can definitely use. A team like the Spurs probably could take advantage of this guy's skills and make him into a really good player.
Yeah, very mobile at 7 foot. So Vanderbilt is playing against number 20 Texas A&M. And Vanderbilt actually has some prospects, even though they're not ranked. Let's talk about the center, Damian Jones, who's also a 7-footer.
Yeah, Damian Jones, he's one of these guys. His game kind of came late to him, but he's starting to figure it out. When he plays with confidence, he really, really can go crazy. This guy, excellent rebounder, excellent interior defenseman, runs the floor well, really can get over the rim. His game definitely will translate to the next level. He's probably going to be a mid-first round prospect.
And they also have a point guard by the name of Wade Baldwin. Let's hear about him.
Yeah, Wade Baldwin, he's another guy who's starting to come on. He's a guy, a good assist man, solid rebound the ball. I think he really doesn't get enough credit defensively. He's a guy like, when you really give him an assignment and you just like, look, we need to stop this guy, we need to win the game, he definitely does that. I've seen him play head-to-head against Jamal Murray, this past, Saturday? Mm-hmm. And, Murray was really burning Vanderbilt. They put Baldwin on him towards the end of the game. Murray didn't score.
All right, now Texas A&M is probably a team that can make some noise in the tournament. Ranked at number 20, you got Jalen Jones at small forward.
Yeah, Texas A&M is probably one of the toughest defensive teams in college. Jalen Jones is really a mirror image of the Texas A&M style of play. No-nonsense type of guy. Really can get in there, battle on the boards, battles down low, also can pop the three, when you least expect it. So he's also a solid prospect. Yep,
and they have another guy at swing position as well, Daniel House.
Yeah, he's a guy that kind of does a little bit of everything. He's like their emotional leader. Really can, take it off the bounce, crash the boards, get in the lane and throw it down, and also can run some point guard, as spot minutes at the point guard. So very versatile player.
All right. Now, some of the bigger names in college basketball, and I love this matchup. You got LSU at Kentucky. And LSU has probably the number one prospect right now, depending on who you ask, 6'10" Ben Simmons.
Yeah, for me, he's still the number one guy. Simmons really does everything. I mean, everything. This guy, he can score, rebound, he can pass. And he's improving his shooting. People knock him on his shooting thing, but I'm like, that's actually taking some improvement from what it was before. So this guy does everything. I love him.
Now, LSU, is that a team you think is going to be in or out? They're kind of on the bubble right now.
Man, that's something, to really worry about. LSU is really going to have to get, at least these last 1 or 2 games in the regular season, and they're going to have to win, their first or second conference tournament game. I don't know if they have to win the whole SEC tournament, but they're going to have to at least get 3 or 4 games, coming down the stretch.
Yeah, I agree there. I think they're in trouble, which is terrible for a guy like Ben Simmons. Now, Kentucky has a couple guys. Jamal Murray at shooting guard has been spectacular this year.
Jamal Murray's on fire. I think he's averaging maybe 27 points in his last 7 games. I mean, this guy really can do it. He's really pushing the pace on this draft board. I understand, they're talking about Ben Simmons 1, Ingram 2, or vice versa, depending on who you talk to. But that third spot, Jamal Murray's trying to claim it, trying to own it, and right now he has control of pick number 3 in the draft right now.
All right, now, a guy, it's funny, we brought up Boogie Cousins earlier. This guy is 5'9", and they said he stood toe-to-toe with DeMarcus Cousins going at him. So he's got a little mean streak to him. 5'9" Tyler Ulis.
Yeah, this guy's fearless. I mean, he cuts in the lane, doesn't matter. He's fearless. He'll get right back up, get knocked down, get right back up, stare you down. I mean, this is the kind of guy, you want to coach.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, he really just plays with a fire, a competitiveness. Coach Cal loves him, and I understand why.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine him, standing toe-to-toe with Boogie, at 7 foot tall? Yeah, that's probably a funny picture. Now, Kansas just got the number 1 spot back. They'll be facing Iowa State. Now, Iowa State's no pushover. They have George Niang. Let's talk about him a little bit.
Niang's probably the most underrated player in college basketball.
Wow.
I don't understand why he's not even listed as a first-round pick, but, a team like Golden State or San Antonio will get a guy like this in the second round, and then you're just like, oh, man, why didn't we get him? Why is he starting for this team?
Who is this
guy? That's how good he is. He can do everything that a small forward needs to do. He might not be the super fastest guy or a guy can sprint and everything, but the guy knows how to play basketball.
Yeah.
So why he's not being considered for a first-round pick and why he's not, and some draft boards don't even have him on there. I'm like, you're making a huge mistake not even having him on there. That's terrible.
Yeah,
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, 6'8", small forward, man. He's got good size on him. All right, we're running against the clock here, so let's talk about one prospect from Kansas. I'll let you pick.
Let's go with the senior, Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis, guy kind of does it all. He's a guy, senior, been around. He's going to be a guy that's going to make an NBA roster, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what he can do. Certainly expanded his game. He's hitting 47% from 3.
Impressive.
Also battling inside. He's great.
There you go.
Basically, you've been schooled on everything you know about college basketball. Also follow Marc at Breakdown Sport on Twitter because he also tweets out everything about college basketball. So for every single week, you're going to learn more about these prospects. Get your notebooks, get your paper out. Basically, that's our college basketball segment with Marc Johnson. When we get back from the top of the hour break, we're going to go more into what's going on in the NBA, also talking Orlando Magic with our good friend Zach Oliver. Most importantly today, Magic fans, there's a report about Chandler Parsons maybe returning home. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC on Sports Talk Today team. We'll catch you at the top of the hour.
WHOO Kissimmee, lock us in. Sports Talk 1080 Orlando, your fantasy sports station, powered by SportsTalkFlorida.com. Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Chapman getting the hook. I'm Keith Irizarry. Aroldis Chapman, the new Yankee closer, has been suspended for 30 games after violating the domestic violence policy. He says he will not appeal. The closer will lose about $1.7 million in salary, can come back or eligible to return to the Yankees on May 9th. It was tagging day in the NFL where we saw Kirk Cousins get a little bit less than $20 million. Von Miller, who we paid the average of the 5 highest paid outside linebackers: Josh Norman, Eric Berry, Cordy Glenn, and Trumaine Johnson. Mario Williams has been cut by the Bills. The Eagles have signed Sam Bradford to a 2-year deal, $26 million guaranteed, $36 million total. Adam Jones, he is set to be a free agent. He joined NBC Sports Radio today, was asked if he would play for Pittsburgh.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't play for the Steelers. I don't have no problem with the Steelers, but that would be hard for me to do that. I wouldn't lie. I would prefer to play against the team that play against the Steelers.
Moving over to the NBA, Steph Curry questionable this night. Earlier today, he was asked during the shoot-around, how's he feeling?
Feeling pretty good, considering how it happened and how I felt after the game. I made some progress, so still a little sore, but hopefully I'll be ready for it. If there's one thing I know very well, it's the ankle.
Was it very sore yesterday?
Yes.
10:30 Eastern, Warriors hosting the Hawks. They are a perfect 24-0. NBA action going on right now. It's the Hornets all over the Suns, 56-37. That one in the second quarter. Bulls are trailing the Heat 34-28. About 2 minutes left in the first. Goran Dragic has 6 points and also 4 assists. The Knicks lead the Trailblazers 23-20. Late stages of the first. Listen to NBC Sports Radio on your local station, online, and the mobile app. I'm Keith Irizarry.